I love Judge Lynn, by the way, right? Now, she was on here, and we had a viral clip, and she basically said, you never hit a man where he's weak. So I think what she was communicating at that time is, sometimes women have these emotional waves, and sometimes maybe the way that they communicate, is not the healthiest, right? Their tongue sometimes can slice you up.
Yeah.
So when you're in a situation where your woman is wanting to communicate to you, but it's very emotional, right? How do you handle that?
I don't know if y'all want to go here with me, bro. One, I don't want to come on here and be controversial, but my take on this is going to be controversial.
Okay.
It is. Because I'm going to say this go both ways, right? Here's I feel like this is becoming a normal expectation in relationships, right? That part of loving you means I have to make myself subject to the ramifications of your dysfunction. Like, I know I need to develop strategies to take it. I also want to know what strategies are you developing to fix it. So I don't know if I got an answer for that because I don't feel like you should have to take that long term.
So you're saying just cut her?
I'm not saying just cut her. I'm saying you got to make all right. So I'm not saying cut her or cut him. But I am saying, I think I'm in a people business. I'm in a people growth business. And I think it's an inaccurate assumption that a lot of us make that people get better with time. People get better when they try to get better. Mm-hmm. Time doesn't necessarily make them better. And so when it comes to I feel like anybody being in relationships, for a relationship to work, it doesn't require perfection. It does require emotional maturity. And that means you got emotional intelligence. It means you got self-awareness. That's one. And it means you got self-management. So does everybody make mistakes and mismanage their emotion every now and then? Absolutely. But if we chronically and consistently mismanaging our emotions, I'm telling you that when you keep subjecting yourself to that, that's emotional damage that you enduring, and you're not setting a boundary that require that person to fix that, because the next person may not be as gracious as you are. So I don't know if I have a strategy for that, because I don't feel like male or female, you should subject yourself to that long term. Everybody has weaknesses, right? But all our weaknesses don't impact our relationships the same way. When you don't know how to talk to me, that affects our relationship. Like if I can't cook, that don't necessarily affect our relationship. But if I don't know how to talk to you, that's a relational skill, fam. That's relational intelligence. And that stuff has to be fixed, because there's no such thing as a broken relationship. It's always broken people. Relationship never break itself. We break it.
So yeah, if she talking to you crazy.
Oh, fam. No.
He done gave you the green light now.
So, and you talked about boundaries. So what would be the difference between a boundary and compromising with somebody? I guess when should you do either?
Yeah, so here's the difference between a boundary and cutting them off, right? So a boundary comes from your recognition that I can't control what you do. I can control how I respond. So it's you saying, all right, I can ask you not to talk to me that way, but I can't stop you from talking to me that way. So this is what I'm gonna do when you start talking to me that way. I'm leaving. That's the boundary. I'm not controlling you. So I'm not telling you as a grown person that you can't talk to me the way that you want to talk to me. But I'm telling you, because I'm a grown person, that I won't sit and be talked to like I'm not grown. So a boundary would be like, yo, I'm not saying I'm gonna cut off the relationship, but I'm saying when things start trending in this direction, I'm gonna set the boundary, not because I'm protecting me from the relationship. I'm setting this boundary to protect the relationship. Because if I don't set this boundary, we might not have one. So for me, that's the difference. That's the difference between the two. And I think I'm real passionate about this, bro, because most of the trauma I like coach or counsel people through is relational.
Because everybody got one.
It's like
Everybody can relate.
90% of it is relational.
Childhood relational or in their marriage?
I'm talking about young adult relations. So like in terms of, childhood trauma and abuse and things like that, I don't deal with that because I let professionals deal with that, counsel. But when it comes to like my coaching and things of that particular nature, whether it's personal or relational, then I'm telling you 90% of the stuff we are walking people through is a result of like triggers that they possess because of past trauma in relationship. And everything that is trauma don't feel traumatic. And so, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say earlier, like, yo, long term, I don't feel like you should subject yourself to just somebody just da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, because it's having an impact on you in the present, but it might not show up until the future in your future relationships. And so I really feel like we got to get this part right, because it's some stuff that we normalizing that we shouldn't. We normalizing stuff that's dysfunctional. People fight. Yeah, people fight. We don't have to fight all the time. I've been married 21 years. We don't fight all the time. So yes, are you going to have some disagreements? Sure. But those disagreements don't have to turn into dysfunction. And let's say if it's normal, just because it's normal don't mean it's right.
That's a fact.
So I don't know. I feel like I had a little something. I got a little spicy there.
I can tell.
I like that though.
Because relationships now, it seems to be as a whole in an unhealthy place.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of divorces, you got a lot, and it's a gender war online too. When we talk about that, enough.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it does come from one. I think we do have some things in our mindset that we do need to fix, but also we don't have a lot of the skill sets you need to manage conflict as conflict does arise. And I'm actually, that actually reminds me of something, because I was actually having a great conversation with a young lady I'm dating. And she was asking me some really thought-provoking questions, some good things. She asked me a question I don't think anybody has ever asked me. She asked me, what's your favorite thing? What's the number one thing you like about yourself?
Yeah.
And I thought about that. I was like,
different.
That's a good question.
I was like, damn. That's what I did. I sat back and I was like, damn. And when I came to it, I actually gave an answer that I think is relevant, especially to you. I said, you know what? I really like the fact that I truly trust myself as a leader. Like, I really trust myself. I could put myself in a situation to lead and to put some shit together, handle some shit, and I won't feel insecure about it. Now, here's the thing. I can't say I've always felt that way, though. And I'm a big proponent of living on my edge, too, so I don't know what type of shit I'm going to lead myself into, so I can't even say I always will feel that way. So as a man in a relationship with a woman, knowing that a woman is watching his demeanor and wants to really feel his strength at all times, when a man is not really feeling strong in certain situations, what's the threshold at which he should display his uncertainty with himself in a situation with his woman?
I can't say there's a certain threshold. I'm not avoiding the question, but I'm just telling you what I really believe. And that is, it depends on the woman.
It depends on if you got a good woman.
No. It's not good, bad. That it depends on how safe he feels being vulnerable with that woman. Let me go back to, this is all anecdotal, right? Because again, people say, I'm not that way. This is just me. It's not the opinion, it's my opinion, but it is informed by my experience. Most of the men that I know that are married, their best friend knows them better than their spouse.
Damn.
Their best friend knows them.
Now,
is that right or wrong? Is that right or wrong?
Depends.
Oh my God.
Because there are aspects of some of his vulnerabilities, fears, struggles, weaknesses that he will articulate and communicate to his best friend that he wouldn't tell his woman.
Is that true for you?
It's not true for me. And I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know if, let's say if I was starting all over and I got married now, that might be true for me. But I've been with my wife since I was 9. We weren't married. was 19.
Oh, hold on, wait, back up. You said if you got married today, your best friend might know more than your wife.
Probably so. I would say, yeah, of course they would know me better than my wife. Because let's say like I got some friends I've been friends with since college.
Well, remove time, right?
Okay.
More so
The
what
depth.
you're willing to share. Is that what you mean by that?
No. So, yeah, let me reframe that. So time-wise, so if I met somebody today, yeah, then there would be a couple of my male best friends that would know more about me, and I'll feel more comfortable sharing certain things with them than somebody that I just met or even might be newly married to, right?
Right.
It's different in my situation because I've been with my wife for just about as long as I've known those guys. So the foundation of our relationship is almost like a friendship. So because we done lived through so much together, after 20-some years, fam, it's hard to hide anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever you are after 20-some years, she's gonna see what that is. But I've seen enough to know that everybody's circumstance is not that way. And so I'm not getting into whether or not it's right or wrong. I think it depends. The question is whether or not the guy feels safe or unsafe in expressing like, yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do here. Like, I can't say if every man's gonna feel comfortable saying that to a woman just because he love a woman and just because she love him. It's gonna depend probably on how he feel like she's responded in the past when he was vulnerable.
Right.
You're supposed to be the man. You don't know what you're doing. So if he's gotten any of that in the past,
He's not gonna say nothing.
he's not gonna say anything.
Really reserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Like, are there things a man should keep away from his woman? Like, is there a space that's just not, that you just should not bring to her to disturb her peace or to get her riled up or whatever reason it might be?
Yeah, so this is what I think. So my answer is, I think there are some things a woman should keep to herself and a man should keep to himself. Now, I'm not saying that's the way everybody has to do it, right? Hey, well, if you want to share everything, like, go for it. I think what I'm saying is, and again, I'm not talking about hiding stuff that's damaging, destructive, dysfunctional, but I think what I'm saying is, for me, it's like marriage is not addition. So from my worldview, it's not addition, it's multiplication. It's not two halves coming together in addition, becoming a whole. It's two wholes that are already whole individually, and they come together, and it's not 1 + 1 is 2, it's 1 times 1 is 1. So it's composite unity, not absolute unity. So we won, yet at the same time, I still maintain a sense of individuality and uniqueness. I got my own opinions, I got my own perspectives, I got my own desires, and I got some thoughts I'm not gonna talk to you about.
And I got my own side chicks.
I get that.
I'm not co-signing